Halonken Kolonken. Hier. Wir sind Travis und Herr Zach. Willkommen zu unserer Geschichte getrunken. Wir sind in der Schuppen getrunken. Which means, welcome to our drunken history. This is Travis and Zach. We're in the shed and we're drinking.
That's right. And if you haven't figured it out yet, we're drinking German beers again. And this is all about Oktoberfest. This episode's coming to you October 1st. This is the last day of the traditional German Oktoberfest today. And we figured we would do a little history about the event.
That's right. As I'm sure you're aware, I was attempting to speak German. I took it for a couple of years. My family grew up speaking German. I haven't spoken it in several years. So if I fucked it up, I thoroughly apologize. But I think I got pretty close.
It sounded good to me.
It sounded angry, and it's been a long time.
I have zero German experience, so I'm going to take Zach's word for it on that.
But no, I think I got it pretty close.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I think that's an A-.
A solid A- work. There you go.
Frau Campbell, my German teacher, would have given me an A- on that one.
Hey, maybe he's watching the show. Maybe.
She. Frau is female.
Frau.
Herr is Mr. That's why I said Herr Travis, Herr Zach.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Frau is female. Fräulein.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe
Frau.
Maybe.
Fun fact: her son went to the Air Force Academy.
Really?
Yeah. Nikolai.
Oh, that's pretty good.
No, Nikita. Nikita Campbell. Yeah, Nikita.
So that's
I met him one time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
when he was a butter bar.
An old butter bar.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to give him a map to find his way?
He seemed like he had his shit together, but they were born in Kyrgyzstan.
Really?
Yeah, and then she spoke like fucking 12 languages.
That's what I was going to say, because Kyrgyzstan, that's like a dialect of Russian or something.
Yeah, she spoke a bunch of different languages, and somehow she ended up as a German teacher in Billings, Montana. She was amazing.
Some sort of refugee of some sort?
I don't know. I never asked her, but she, we did the trip. We did a 10-day trip to Germany the summer between my junior and senior year.
Yeah.
She was a chaperone. And, sorry guys, the ice is shifting in the cooler. But she was the chaperone on the trip. Awesome time. Great tour guide. We flew into Vienna, Austria. We spent a couple days in Vienna. Went up to Munich. On the Marienplatz, which is the headquarters of Oktoberfest. We'll get more into that. Right below the Glockenspiel, right very close to the Hofbrauhaus. I'm drinking Hofbrau Oktoberfest beer from Germany. Travis is drinking Spetten Oktoberfest. I'm sure we're both going to have several of each throughout the episode.
Yeah, definitely.
But I went to the Marienplatz. I saw the Glockenspiel, went over to the Hofbrauhaus.
Yeah.
Really a great time. Then we did Vaduz, Liechtenstein, Innsbruck, Austria. Went to Salzburg. Heidelberg. We spent a night in Heidelberg, Germany. And then we ended up flying out of Frankfurt.
Okay.
Great tour. Got to see a lot of Bavaria, which is kind of the Oktoberfest theme. This is what the Bavarian flag looks like. I don't know if you guys can see it.
We'll put a picture of that up on the video.
It's blue and white. Beautiful flag. Beautiful history.
The last time we were talking about Bavaria and that part of Germany when we was on our episode 2 of the podcast when we was talking about Hitler's Eagle's Nest.
Yeah, true story.
So we kind of go full circle on that.
Yeah, getting back to it.
Several episodes later now. I think we're a little bit better with our podcast episodes at this point than we were from episode 2.
The flow has improved.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I definitely like some German beer and some German traditions.
Absolutely.
A lot of the when you think of beer, you actually do think of Germany and Bavarian beer.
I really like the Hofbräu label on here. It shows the actual no shit original. Hofbrauhaus has spread worldwide now. There's several of them worldwide.
They have some restaurants and stuff now. And
yeah, well, in this one on the label of the Hofbräu Oktoberfest beer is a picture of the legit original Hofbrauhaus in Munich with a Ferris wheel in the background, and it looks like a team of Clydesdales in the front. But that is really cool to see. That is the no shit real Oktoberfest, or excuse me, the original real Hofbrauhaus, and the label says Hofbrau Munich, or München, as they say in Germany. München.
Okay.
Really a cool thing to see on the label. It's the real deal. This is no bullshit here.
You was telling me the story about the whole tour you did in Germany with the class.
We went we did see some amazing places. We saw Mozart's place. We saw, you name it. We went to Dachau, which was like, I don't want to take this on a melancholy turn here, but it was.
But really though, that's a good place to visit though, and see some of that historic sites like that though too. You've got to know your history. That's the whole point of our podcast, is knowing some history.
It's true. I'm telling you, like out on the sidewalk outside, like everything's great. It's all happy and fun.
Yeah.
But when you cross the threshold into the place, you can feel how somber it is. You can feel that something.
I've heard that, yeah.
Like it's, and I don't have a word to explain it, but it's just a heavy.
You can feel it. You can feel the difference.
Yeah,
it's different. It hits you different.
It does. Yeah. I mean, you can't. And even if you never knew what happened there, even if you never read a book, there's something about that place that you could walk in, not knowing shit, and you could just, like, it's a heavy, oppressive, just a bad place.
Yeah, I can believe that. It's just, I've heard those accounts from numerous people visiting some of those sites.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah. So I've been there. I went to a internment camp in Korea that I would say felt very much the same way.
Yeah.
And then the 9/11 memorial in New York, I would say, was down below when you're in like the museum and you're actually seeing like the pieces of the buildings.
Yeah.
I would say that is very much the same feeling. It's the only place, but I mean, it's places that like terrible.
Yeah, where awful stuff happens.
Yeah, tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nowhere else have I ever felt that. And I mean, I guess knowing what happened there going in, I felt like you should feel that way, but when it actually hits you, like it's not something you could expect. Going in.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to get off on the shitty foot. We're past that point, and now we're going to drink these beers, and we're going to celebrate Oktoberfest.
So, before we get started on Oktoberfest, if you guys haven't already liked our channel, if you can, please like and subscribe to our YouTube. Hit us up on TikTok and all of our major podcast players. You can find us everywhere. And then if you feel like following us on Twitter and Facebook, we're on there as well. So we're available on all types of social media. If you can just give us a like and follow, we appreciate it. It helps drive our channel and helps get our message out there. We appreciate it. And since we're on the subject of Oktoberfest, some people may not realize or understand, like most people as Americans just think it's a beer festival. We're going to a festival. And
they made a whole movie about it. It was called Beer Fest.
Dude, that was a great movie. You know what? We'll have to, I wonder if we can do an intro. So, and maybe cut in some of the scenes from the Beer Fest movie on there or something.
Down.
But
speaking of Beer Fest, I need another beer. Oh, all right.
Beer break.
All
right, so now that we're back from our beer break, we grabbed us we just did a switcheroo. I'm drinking the Hofbrau now,
and I'm drinking the Spaten.
So
you guys may say it Spaten, but you have to understand German pronunciation. It's Spaten.
Spaten.
Which literally means time.
So how do you, so if I want to say what time is it, what would I?
Wie spät ist es?
Wie spät ist es?
Wie spät ist es? That means what time is it?
Okay.
It's
I know
an angry language.
it is. It is, but so I mean, it's one of the languages I've wanted to learn. I know some Spanish, but so.
So it's once you get once you get the sentence structure down, which is the biggest thing. Well, it's the biggest thing in most foreign languages. But both English and German. English is a Germanic language.
Yeah.
So it's actually, once you kind of get the basics down, it's not really that hard.
Okay.
You just have to say things really mad, and then you're okay.
Just get angry,
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh shit, he's German. He speaks German. He's for real."
It's like the Hulk. I'm always angry.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always German.
Oh.
No, it's actually I wouldn't say it's like a lovely artistic language.
Yeah, it's not what
It's
a romantic language.
It's a
What is
blue
it like?
collar
Latin?
language.
Yeah. There you go, blue collar.
It's a blue collar language. But no, the biggest thing is the sentence structure.
Okay.
And learning where to put your verbs and your vowels and or not your vowels, but your verbs and your predicates and
I got you.
okay. It's just getting it down. And that's
From that.
Much like Spanish, they have masculine and feminine ways to say things. So
like
it's
like you'll have one word, but it'll sound different.
Like-
depending on,
like D and dare. So D would be the feminine way and dare would be the masculine way. So it would be like detour would be like the door, and I don't know why door is a feminine word, but apparently in German it is.
oh, okay.
And there's others. I mean, it's something that I have to say a sentence to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because there's like in Spanish, there's certain words that. Hopefully, I'm getting this correct. But
Like calculator for some reason is a masculine word.
really.
Der Taschenrechner.
Well, I mean,
And I don't know why. Because Tasche means bag, like backpack.
well, so
And I don't know what the fuck Rechner means, but the whole thing means calculator. And I don't know why.
So going back to these words, that's what I was getting at a while ago too. So I'm going to give a shout out to one of my favorite TikTokers. There's a TikToker called Das German Girl, and she is a expat from Germany, and I follow her on TikTok. But she does some of these pronunciations of words that are versus the English version. And shows the angry German pronunciation. And she has the eyebrows and she gives it
She gets at it.
the whole angry pronunciation in it. And it's pretty good. So hopefully,
So there's a place in which there's a few words I really like in German. There's a place in Munich. It's called the Chinese Garden.
yeah, the Chinese garden.
Beautiful flower garden.
Okay,
It's called Chinesische Turm.
repeat that again, please.
Chinesische Turm.
Shitorum.
No, Chinesische
Oh, okay.
Turm. Chinesische is Chinese. Turm is garden. I don't know why.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So that's
That's how Germany rolls.
yeah, oh yeah. And the more I learn about it, the more I understand about it, and the more I appreciate it and like it though too. It's just I think there's a lot of people that like the German language just because of the angry tone it has with it. I mean, we were talking about before we started recording. One of my favorite words is ambulance, and you think an ambulance going to like the hospital would be the Krankenwagen.
Like you're gonna die. You're in the Krankenwagen. Yeah.
So getting back to our original idea, Oktoberfest. So it's not just an American beer festival where you go drink beer.
It is actually a German wedding story.
Yeah, and if you remember a while back, we did the wedding traditions from around the world,
And then we also did the German World War II story. This is a marriage of two stories.
Yeah. So Oktoberfest came about. It was the very first Oktoberfest was in 1810, and it was a wedding celebration from the Kronprinz Ludwig.
Ludwig.
You're gonna make fun of my pronunciation this whole time.
I'm just gonna correct.
Ludwig. Okay, so it was a wedding celebration from the Kronprinz Ludwig.
Which Ludwig?
The first, King Ludwig the First.
Okay.
Married Princess Teresa Saxe Hildburghausen. I
would have to see it.
Yeah. I'll show that to you. So they got married on the 12th of October in 1810.
Okay.
So in celebration of that, the citizens.
This is kind of cool where this is going, but we'll go on.
So the citizens of so I'm just going to read this too. The citizens of Munich were invited to attend the festivities held in the field in front of the city gates in Munich. So there was basically a wedding celebration in the first weeks of October for the prince and married his princess of Germany. And so now, and every year it kind of grew into a celebration every year to celebrate that anniversary. And it's grown over the years, and it's evolved now to basically a 2-week festival from the latter part of September through the first couple days of October, and it depends on. It's like the festival ends on the first Sunday of October, depending on what day that falls on.
Yeah,
and so it usually lasts 16 to 18 days of October, and it's a big celebration based on their royal history.
So King Ludwig der Zwei, which is King Ludwig II,
Okay.
started to build. He lived in a castle called Neuschwanstein outside of Munich.
Okay.
And he wanted to build this amazing, beautiful dream castle. It's called Neuschwanstein.
That's one thing I've heard about. I have not seen. I've been to Germany a few times, traveling through, going on deployments and stuff. I haven't spent a ton of time there, and I've heard that's one thing. Germany has a lot of really nice castles.
Castles, the most beautiful castles in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
There's a castle I think in Germany that was based, that Disney based like their castle on, right?
It's the one I'm talking about.
Okay.
Neuschwanstein. Say it.
What is it?
Neuschwanstein. So it's the Disney Cinderella castle.
Okay, yeah.
But King Ludwig der Zwei was in the middle, and he was like super paranoid about like assassination. And he built this castle, and he never saw it through to its completion. And he went for a walk one day from Neuschwanstein. There's a lake down there. I don't remember the name of the lake, but he went to walk around the lake, and he decided to go for a swim, and he drowned in it. And it's like a big German conspiracy. Who killed Ludwig der Zwei?
Okay.
They have since finished the castle, and it's like a big tourist thing. It is, in my opinion, the most beautiful castle in the world. Neuschwanstein. If you guys want, go ahead and put up we'll put up a picture of it.
Yeah.
It is an otherworldly beautiful location. It's a long walk to get to it up a hill. There's horse-drawn carriages that go. We decided to walk it. We walked the hill. But you go across a beautiful bridge, which is where most of the pictures are taken from of the castle, is the bridge. And actually, it's kind of cool because you can see the castle, and then off in the background, you can see Neuschwanstein. Okay. So you can see both castles in one picture.
Oh, that's cool.
But it's always got the fog around it. Beautiful place. But I've been there.
Yeah,
that's King Ludwig's kid.
Okay.
The castle itself is. I mean, if you guys don't fuck around, go see the most beautiful castle in the world. This one is it. You will never find a more beautiful place ever.
That's pretty neat, and it's pretty neat how they like something you see, like you see in Cinderella's castle, and you see that in Disney World, Disneyland, and stuff, where they've built replicas of that. You know, and it influenced pop culture pretty much.
Yeah, it's it is something that I don't think could be rough. But I mean, it's on par, in my opinion, my with like things like the pyramids.
Yeah,
With their like.
Well, you think back then though too, that's all manual hand labor building that stuff back then too.
Dude, these guys put in work.
Yeah,
and it's not only building the castle; it's in the middle of the mountains. It's in the middle of the Bavarian mountains.
Yeah,
like everything that was carried up there was carried up on like horse-drawn wagons. Like it's these dudes were masters of their craft when they built it. So, go see it, you guys. Do yourself a favor, take a trip to Germany and go check out some amazingly beautiful castles. Go see Mozart's house.
Yeah.
Do these great things that are literally a once in a lifetime trip. But anyway, back to Bavarian history.
So the Oktoberfest festival now actually sees in the Munich area, the greater Munich area, actually sees 6 million international visitors a year attending the event.
So it's really cool because once you get there, when you get down to where it's held, they call it the Marienplatz, and it's the Marienplatz is a square, a bit like town square, big open area.
Yeah,
and they have vendors, they have all kinds of cool stuff, but it's right below what a lot of you, I'm sure, have seen but don't know quite the name of. It's a big clock. It's called the Glockenspiel. And I don't know where it ranks on the world's largest clocks, but it's got to be up there. It's a huge, like multiple building size clock.
It's bigger than Big Ben.
Probably not.
No, okay.
But
we'll have to put a picture of that. We'll have to do.
But what it does have is it has these like marionettes that all perform little actions, all automated, but it's by like wood and pulleys.
That reminds me of like Shrek, the movie, and like the little
very much Farquaad. Yeah, no, it is.
The,
it is very much, yes. And it's and they dance and they have like turnstiles or whatever at the top. It's fucking cool to see in person, and it's like old wood carving people.
That is one thing that like the German. I don't know if it's a specific area in Germany, but the cuckoo clocks and and the different types of mechanical things like that.
At my grandpa's house, there's an old cuckoo clock on the wall, and I don't know how old it is, but I know that my dad was born in 54. Yeah, 54, and it's 100 years old before he's born.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it's still hanging on my grandpa's wall, like perfect working order.
That's crazy. You know, I mean, well, because you hear people make like off the cuff comments about fine German engineering or whatever, but really,
that's the truth.
It is, yeah. You know, and then you hear people say like, I keep time like a German train schedule or whatever. It's like, if you go to the German train station and it says that train's going to show up at 12:02, it will be at 12:02 plus or minus a couple seconds.
Yeah.
It's so I mean they do have their shit together with that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
no, it's the truth, man. The Germans don't fuck around.
Yeah. So one thing about the Oktoberfest, they brewed special brews of beer for this festival to celebrate the wedding celebration of the prince and princess getting married.
Mm-hmm.
And traditionally, I guess, really the beer we're drinking right now, it's like 5.9, I think is what you said.
This is some strong stuff. This one's 5.9. I don't know what that is.
Well, the Oktoberfest beer is known for being about 2% stronger.
That's what I'll say is this must be a dumbed down version because most of the German beers I drank over there were like 9%.
Yeah, and it's a special brew of beer for the Oktoberfest celebration. And so this is the numbers I have right here are 2014 numbers. So in 2014, the Oktoberfest beer was consumed during the 16-day festival was 7.7 million liters. That is 1,700,000 imperial gallons of beer were drank for the Oktoberfest festival. That is just in Munich.
That's a lot of hooch.
That is a lot. So one of the original celebrations for the Oktoberfest festival, that they had the parties and they had to have bands play, but then one of the other things was a horse race, and there's a kind of contention of actually who originated the horse race. There's a couple of different personnel from the German National Guard that are thought to have started the race. But it was like a tradition for over 100 years to have a horse race during this event to celebrate the wedding anniversary.
So the horse races are in the tradition of the Scharlachrennen, which means the Scarlet Race at Karlsruhe. They were held on the 18th of October to honor the newlyweds. Michael Delorme, a major of the National Guard, was the one who came up with the idea, supposedly. But the origins of Oktoberfest may have stemmed from proposals offered by Franz Baumgartner, who was a coachman or sergeant in the National Guard at the time. He came up with the idea as a repeat spectacle.
Yeah. Okay.
So
like
his idea was to make it not a one-off.
Yeah, make it a yearly thing. Because
Yeah.
I thought I read somewhere he actually won the first ever race of that, I think.
Yes, that is correct.
So, and then I think the winning horse they gave to the prince as a gift.
Yeah.
So I mean it kind of stemmed from there as more and more traditions about the horse race, and then they grew into like food and vendors, and
That's the thing is, yeah, it started off as which was a really cool celebration, and it has grown to be something that is just probably way beyond original comprehension.
yeah, and so they got to be so popular that now that you hear about it, it's a word now that we use, a beer hall.
Yeah.
That was derived because they built these giant, almost like you would imagine a circus tent, and they built these big tents. They're temporary because they wanted to leave the parade venue or the meadows in their undeveloped state. So they would build these temporary structures every year, these big tents, and build stages and bandstands and tables and all that.
And I will say that, so I didn't go to Oktoberfest, but I went to a beer festival while I was there.
Yeah.
And it was big fucking tents. And it was guys running around in lederhosen, which are the leather shorts with the suspenders.
Yeah.
And I got picked out of the audience to go put on a pair of lederhosen.
Oh, nice.
And try and blow the Matterhorn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I did. I put on the felt hat with the feather and the lederhosen, and the Matterhorn. Bro, the thing's no joke. Like Ricola, they make it seem easy. You could have some clear lungs to blow that thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I did it in front of like the whole place. It was a really neat experience.
Well, so we're saying they built these tents. That's one of those things that really, it's hard to imagine because a lot of these tents would fit like 5,000 to 6,000 people in a tent.
Yeah, it's not like your camping Coleman tent. It's a big motherfucker.
And at one point, the biggest tent, the biggest beer hall, they called it, they built, housed 12,000 spectators in a tent for a beer fest. That's freaking nuts.
It's like being back in Afghanistan.
Yeah, in the big giant Alaskan tents there. Yeah,
No, they were 54-man tents. And they still felt big.
I cannot imagine
12,000 people run around in a tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the ones that I was in was
A little less populated than that. Yeah.
kleine. Kleine means small.
Small. Oh man.
So a lot of these celebrations have gotten into American infiltrated American customs.
Yeah.
Right? And people don't even realize this. And one of the things that my dad is big into, my dad's my best friend. We talk 27,000 times a day, call each other. But he goes on these gambling trips.
Yeah.
And he goes down to Laughlin, Nevada, other Elko, whatever other fucking Jackpot is one that he's been to, I know. But when he came out here for my wedding.
Yeah.
And he walked around the casino until he found a Heidi's Beer House machine. And I don't know if you guys have ever done the Heidi's Beer House machine, but it's a Bavarian Oktoberfest themed machine. And it's kind of cool because one of the things that people associate with Oktoberfest is these very busty
The beer maidens.
gals.
Yeah.
The beer maidens, and they run around with these. And in the States, we call them a Stein, which is the mug, the big beer mugs.
Yeah.
But in Germany, they call them a Mooskrug.
A Mooskrug.
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 Yeah. And at one time, I believe the record was a lady held 32 Mooskruges.
Wow.
Which is...
She had some grip.
Some big old...
Oh, man.
Big old fucking strength. Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now, the Mooskruge record. Okay?
That's nuts about that because most of those steins are, what, 24 to 30 something ounces?
They're fucking huge, man.
So, she's holding 10 gallons of beer up on her, 5 gallons of beer. That's like 40, 50 pounds on each hand.
Yeah. Okay. The record right now is a guy carried 27 full steins weighing 137 pounds.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's 127 pounds of beer.
Yeah, I mean,
That's like carrying a keg.
And that's in your two hands. That's the thing is they got to grab the handles.
It's all the handles, yeah.
And that's what you have to hold it by.
That's
some
nuts.
grip strength.
27.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good on them.
Yeah, you got some of that old grip strength.
The old German grip.
Your old German grip. So with our Oktoberfest, so that's one of the things too. When they started this festival, the original festival was probably kind of started off as a one-off thing, and then they said, hey, this might be a good idea to have this every year, and it evolved into a yearly festival.
Yeah.
Well, and it went on for years, and finally, in 1853, so it was 43 years, it went yearly up until they decided they would cancel the 1853 Oktoberfest festival because 3,000 residents of Munich, including the Queen consort, died of a cholera epidemic. So it took basically a plague to cancel the Oktoberfest festival in 1853. And so then at that it was and then it went on after that until 1866, so another 12, 13 years. And it was because Bavaria was involved in the Austro-Prussian War.
Okay.
So when you look through the years that the festival has gone on for more than 200 years, and it has missed. There's been times where the Oktoberfest festival has missed 26 times over the last 200 and It's like 215 years now at this point.
Yeah.
And it's all been because of either pandemics of some sort, like
Or
cholera,
Or world wars.
or war. So it's been the Franco-Prussian War,
Okay.
the Napoleonic Wars, where'd it go? There was there's two different cholera epidemics.
What about COVID?
They did actually in 2020 it was canceled because of COVID. That was another pandemic. World War One, World War Two, it was postponed for those. So it was over the last 220 years or so. It has missed 26 events.
10% of the time.
Yeah,
Ish.
but it's all been through very severe circumstances that it's actually.
But it's cool. They picked up back where they started.
Yeah.
After.
And the last couple of years have been some of the biggest ever for really kind of considering what it's all went through. Yeah, because like during World War One, it was suspended for 4 years, 1914 to 1918. And then actually, even though it was suspended for those years, they actually held little mini festivals in its honor, like kind of little local things. It just wasn't as big as what they normally would.
Yeah, a full-up national celebration.
Yeah, there's been some notable events though. There's been some as fun and great as the event has been. There has been some incidents where it wasn't so great. In 1980, there was actually a terrorist attack. In the one of the main beer tents, there was an IED or an improvised explosive device set off in one of the beer tents, and it actually killed like 20-something people that was in the tent.
No shit.
There was over 200 injured in that explosion.
Was that also the year of the Olympic bombing in Munich?
Yeah, it actually ended up being the second most or second worst terrorist attack in German history, second to the Munich massacre, and I think that was the
third.
The third.
World War III was pretty.
World War II was pretty bad.
Big.
Yeah, yeah, that probably comes in number one. Oh man, we're gonna have some Germans mad at us now about that.
It happened, guys.
Yeah, but
just own it.
No, but yeah, it was. Let's see here. It was 225 people were injured. Let's see here. 13 people were killed during that blast.
That is a.
But the prime suspect was killed in the blast, so they don't really. And they've investigated that incident.
So they never had like a legitimate full resolution to it.
They have not. No, that it's actually still technically an open case to this day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild considering the technological advancements since then.
And they have reopened the case from time to time because of that, like new advances in either forensics or technology, trying to find more leads to it, and they just haven't been able to come to any conclusive findings on it yet.
That's really. I mean, it's sad, but I mean, surprising, but tragic. I mean, it truly is.
It is. The one of the
this episode has a lot of
it's ups and downs. It is.
Yeah, man. Like you'll get real happy, and then you'll be like, oh, but this bad thing happened.
Oh man.
Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Fuck.
Oh, so back on the roller coaster.
Oh, here we go, guys.
Here we go, guys.
Hold on.
So
up.
One of the good things about this since the 1950s, since 1956, the start of the festival.
It's like, think about this good stuff, and then on the bad side, people died.
Yeah, people died. It's like a newscaster, and they're reading the news off, like 27 orphans were killed, but next to the Butterfly Festival is going on over here.
That's how this episode feels, man. I feel like
oh man,
fuck. Oh yeah. Oh, this is
no.
I stubbed my toe.
Is that just German history in a nutshell?
Yeah, man, it's a lot of fucking ups and downs in
downs.
German history, man. Like shit.
The since the mid 1950s, they've carried on a tradition where the mayor of Munich is the first one to tap the first keg of the festival, and he hands the first beer to the president of Bavaria as the traditional kickoff to the festival, and that's how it starts. And that's kind of one of the things, like he'll tap the keg with a hammer, hit the tap in there, and
have you ever tapped a keg?
not like a hammer, no.
No. I mean, you've tapped kegs.
Yeah.
You know, like if the temperature's not right, like you get like just a ton of foam.
Oh yeah.
What do you think would happen, like in front of all those 6 million people a year, if you're like,
Oh, and it's just
and then you get to pour it out, and then like, we'll get to it, guys. Like, just stand by a minute.
I can get
Hold on.
boo.
Wait, it's got a lot of head.
A little overpressured here.
Sorry, we'll get to her.
Yeah.
That
man.
would fucking suck. When I was at Heidelberg Castle, they do a tour. This is a really cool tour, by the way. You go up this really long brick pathway, and it was really neat because there was, so like I said, it was several schools on it, but there was also where we went, there was other people on the tour. Not part of our tour, but they just signed up to go. So when we were in Heidelberg Castle, one of the really neat things was this family had signed up to take the tour, and it was this husband and wife and their kids. And the one kid was like a 3-year-old, 4-year-old little boy, and they had a baby in a stroller. Well, the walk up to Heidelberg Castle is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's a brick path. And I mean, the bricks are like not even.
Yeah.
So it was really neat. So the husband grabbed the handles, and me and one other dude each grabbed the front tire of the baby stroller, and we carried it up that hill.
Oh yeah.
So they could go on the tour with us.
Heck yeah.
They were great. They were a really cool family. And we did the tour thing. But the one thing was the one room at the Heidelberg Castle was like fucking enormous. It was like twice the size of a normal standard garage.
Oh wow.
And it had a keg in it. And it was a keg for back in the day. And I don't remember how many fucking gallons it was, but I mean it was all of them.
Yeah, it's all of them. It was big.
It was a giant fucking keg.
Yeah.
And that's what they kept it for, was for their beer. And I mean it was no longer in use at the time, but it was just a really cool thing to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you see pictures of some of those giant kegs that they made and stuff, and in some of those beer tents, like they would have thousands of people in those tents. That is definitely, Oktoberfest is definitely something that's on my bucket list to go and experience.
Yeah, I ended up I missed. I was still in high school, so we missed it by about a month and a half.
Okay, yeah.
I wish I could have gone, but at the same time, I have to admit that I don't know that I would have appreciated it for what it is.
Yeah.
As I've gotten older, like I think that now if I went, like I would be able to sit back and take it all in. So maybe blessing in disguise that I didn't go when I was 16.
Oh yeah, I think so too, because I think I'd appreciate the history more now and the actual ambiance of it now.
Heidi.
Oh yeah, and I think it would mean more. So I think maybe one of these days we can do our Drunken History episode from Oktoberfest. Hey, maybe this time next year we'll be in Germany, in Munich, at Oktoberfest. You want to try to set that as a goal?
Purely business expenses, broadcasting live.
So anybody out there that wants to sponsor us to go to Oktoberfest next year, hit us up.
We will both wear lederhosen.
Yes, I will. Actually, I have a Halloween costume, lederhosen. That.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. I went. Me and my wife. She had the beer mugs, and I had.
She was Heidi.
She was Heidi, and
you were Hans.
Yes, and they were tight.
Like I said, man, I wore a real pair in Germany at at a very nice German restaurant. It was great.
I would love it. Yeah, it'd be a good experience. So maybe we can make it happen. You never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Guys, we really appreciate you watching. We appreciate you listening. Please hit like and subscribe. Share with your friends. Share with your family. Also comment. Let us know what you want to hear, what you'd like us to research, and we're here for you.
Yeah, we have tons of ideas, but we want to make sure we're covering the subjects that you guys want to hear. So let us know if there's anything you want us to cover specifically. And yeah, as always, you can find us on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter, on all the major podcast players. We are all over the place now.
We're everywhere like crabs.
That's right.
No. Also, in all seriousness, please be safe. Please don't drink and drive. Please have a plan. We want you to enjoy and indulge like we do, but also plan ahead the same way that we do. We don't want to see anybody make bad choices.
Enjoy your Oktoberfest responsibly.
Oh, well said, sir.
Oh yeah. I try.
Until next Oktoberfest, tschüss. And auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Have a good one, guys.